The answer to this question is plain and simple. Pokémon was trendy when it started, it became a global phenomenon and wormed its way into our hearts when we were tiny children, and like a terminal disease, we're all stuck with the consequences of it forever. It's easy to see why. Pokémon are cute, collectible, cool, and full of personality. They inhabit a world that sparks imagination, and most importantly, Pokémon has been a multimedia franchise since the beginning, and with generational separations between each release, there are always new entry points inviting newcomers to jump in. I've been going through a bit of a Pokémon fixation for a few weeks. This happens to me every once in a while. My life becomes consumed by Pokémon because it's such a diverse franchise. There's so much of it to consume, it's easy to get lost in it, especially for people who have unhealthy relationships with escapist fiction, like me. It starts with the video games, then I start wanting to watch the anime again, then the anime makes me start yearning for a more focused narrative that sticks closer to the games, and I start reading the manga, and it just keeps going forever. It helps that a ton of my friends are as obsessed with Pokemon as I am. That is the key factor in propagating Pokemon's eternal success. Beyond the artistry, past the marketing, that ultimate it factor is the social aspect. Be it mobile, card, or video game, you're encouraged to play alongside your friends and family. Battling and trading with other people fuels the compulsion to keep playing. At least 2 of my friends have already offered to play Platinum with me after I finish my first run of Ruby, and a dozen of my friends have hopped into a Discord voice chat to watch the Pokemon movies with me. We've all experienced this generational excitement over something so transparently corporate, its glaring flaws pass right through us and we feel ourselves coming closer together. There's few faster ways into a person's heart than bonding over something you collectively loved when you were 5. It's funny, because as far as each individual piece of Pokemon media goes, I can think of comparable examples of each that are more artistically and mechanically gratifying. If you want a simplistic RPG that's faster and with more depth than Pokemon, just about any turn-based game from 1995 onward can satisfy you. If you want a TV show about monster friends battling each other, there's plenty of variety out there. Toys, Neopets, card games, Magic. But no other franchise is as all-consuming as Pokemon. What other franchise gives you a choice of over 1,000 monsters to make your own? What other franchise makes quality plushies of damn near all of them? What other franchise is so ubiquitous that you can ask everyone in the room which character is their favorite, and half of them will have an immediate answer? I know people in their 60s who play Pokemon Go, I'm not making this up. But there is a sinister side to this, isn't there? Despite my childlike wonder and awe at the world of Pokemon, I can't escape the surface layer of corporate cynicism. My ire for the Pokemon Company is not dissimilar from my seething hatred of Disney. They got their hooks in me before I knew how to talk. Their product takes up space in my heart and mind, and it doesn't really deserve to be there. I am certain beyond a shadow of a doubt that if Pokemon came out when I was an adult, I would find the whole thing uninteresting. I've already played Chrono Trigger, Earthbound, Dragon Quest III. Pokemon games are comparably slow, badly designed, and derivative on an artistic level. Building a good team begs the player to fight against the intended pathway. Several minutes worth of consecutive turns can be wasted by bad RNG, and the HM mechanic is ill-conceived on every level. Battles can always be made easier with effective pre-planning, but that's true of most RPGs. I'm acutely aware of all these problems, and yet I keep playing Pokemon because, once again, I can't get enough of these adorable monsters. I bought into the narrative hook, line, and sinker. I love imagining myself as a cool Pokemon trainer, making friends with these weirdos, strengthening their bodies and our bonds through rigorous challenges. I feel a real attachment to these intangible sprites because I'm aware of how tedious the battles can be. I feel weirdly proud of my Pokemon when they're able to finish things quickly. The struggle is the source of love. Without friction, there is no relief. I understand this is part of game design, it's the purpose of difficulty, but is Pokemon difficult in a way that's really fun for me? I don't know, I might be trapped in an abusive fandom. At the end of the day, no matter how complicated my feelings towards Pokemon get, I don't feel a sense of guilt for enjoying it, and neither should you. I'm not giving my money to the Pokemon Company anymore. If I want to play the newer games, I'll buy them secondhand. Growing up doesn't mean you have to leave childish things behind. In fact, holding on to childish things is how you keep your heart from using harden. You do need to allow your relationships with these things to evolve, though. You know, like a Pokemon. Maturity is finding healthier ways to be human. Some people think the key to growing up is cynicism, but cynicism is just defeatism trying to disguise itself as realism. All good things in moderation. You need a healthy dose of hope to keep yourself going, and if something as corporate as Pokemon happens to be a source of togetherness and joy, well, that's fine by me, so long as we don't succumb to advertising mind control parasites. If you want more fun videos like this one, feel free to throw money at me so I can keep the pantry stocked. I hate corporate ads and sponsors with a fiery passion. I know that's where the real money is on YouTube, but becoming a blood-sucking sellout is the last thing I want to do. I'm always accepting donations from people who sincerely care about my art and want to see me thrive. I throw money at starving artists when I can, so supporting me indirectly supports my friends too. For more Pokemon Giga content, check out my tier list channel, Giga Lists. That's where I go to info dump to my heart's content. My friend Z-Cypher did his own Pokemon Starters tier list video in response to mine, and I hope you look forward to seeing more art from me and my fellow golden butterflies. See you soon!